Hi, I'm Story from Garden Story. We've become generations removed from growing and cultivating our own food and the knowledge of how to do so. I'm trying to learn how to do that, and I'm trying to bring you all along with me. What if we don't have a bread maker, and what if we don't have the ability to get active dry yeast? What if all we have is some flour left over in our cupboard and we want to make some bread? So over the course of the next few days, you'll see me make a starter for bread and bake a loaf of bread. So I'm just going to do it the simplest way. Organic whole wheat flour. Plenty of sources online say that the yeast that we'll be capturing is from the air, and then other sources say that that's bull and actually the yeast is present on the grain itself. I'm leaning towards more that the yeast is present on the grain, and although there is yeast in the air, that is not the yeast that we're cultivating necessarily. So we have a 1/4 cup of flour. And about a 1/4 cup of water. I should note that here we're on a well, and so I don't have to worry about chlorine in the water, but if you're on city water, then you might want to use distilled or bottled water, because most sources say that the chlorine will inhibit the growth of the yeast. And now we wait. See you tomorrow morning. Okay, it's day 2, and it's almost noon. Here's what we're working with. You can see some liquid that's forming. It doesn't really smell like much. I do see it looks like there's been a bubble that popped, which is promising. Continue the steps. 1/4 cup of flour and a 1/4 cup of water. What we've done is doubled the recipe in size. So day 1, 1/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of water. Day 2, 1/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of water. So now we have 1 cup total volume. Tomorrow something different will happen. It's day 3 and things are happening. Check out this bubble action right here. It's starting to smell a little bit yeasty, and that's a good thing. So this is the part in the process where some people discard some of their starter, and instead of discarding it, I'll make a separate one so I can give it to a friend. I divided the starter roughly in half, so there's a 1/2 cup in the mixing bowl and a 1/2 left in my original jar, and I added a 1/2 cup of flour and a 1/2 cup of water to each. Essentially, we split the starter in half and then doubled each of those halves. This starter will be active in about 2 more days, hopefully. On day 4, I measured a 1/2 cup from each of the starters, and instead of actually discarding it, I decided to make something yummy. So I took one of my little guys into the garden and we harvested some field garlic. Pretty good. I think it'd be better if I fried it longer and it was crispier, but it has a good flavor. Nice. It's like a warm squishy pita.
You like it? Yeah.
By day 5, the jars needed a cleaning, so I removed half a cup of the levain from each. And since it failed the float test, I decided to add a cup and a half of flour and a cup and a half of water to try to give it a little boost. Good morning, it's day 6, I think. Last night I fed this starter 2 tablespoons of water and 2 tablespoons of flour and mixed it in, didn't discard anything. Like I said in the beginning of this video, we are learning together. So that's the new rules, that's what we're doing, we're gonna see how it works. 2 to 3 tablespoons of this starter, half a cup of flour, half a cup of water. And then also, it's a good thing that I'd been keeping all that extra starter because I had to end up tossing this whole batch and starting over because the kids contaminated it by licking the whisks and throwing trash in the bowl. It would take this long when I started, but after 9 days of once and sometimes twice daily feedings, it's floating! Good enough for me!